For several days, Richard and Billy have been watching these baby mockingbirds. Sometimes, when they keep very still, the boys see one of the parent mockingbirds bring food to the babies. This young mockingbird has finally grown big enough to leave the nest. Richard thinks he is a cute little fellow. Don't you? Richard and Billy have had so much fun watching the baby birds that they have decided to make a feeding tray to attract more birds to their yard. A smooth, flat board will make a good feeding tray. Richard is putting a rim around the tray so food will not fall off. Billy is a good helper. By working together, they will soon have the tray finished. The boys have a post ready for their feeding tray. It will hold the tray high enough to protect the birds from cats and is close to shrubs and trees where the birds can find shelter. There. Now the tray is ready for some food. Birds eat seeds, nuts, dry breadcrumbs, and crackers. Fruit is a special treat. Richard and Billy have observed that several different kinds of birds have come to their feeding tray, and they want to know their names. So they have borrowed a library book with colored pictures to help them learn the names of the birds that have come to their yard. The mourning dove is easy to match with his picture because of his coloring and size. The house finch is much smaller, and the male has a red head and breast. They can name the male English sparrow because of his brown head and back and black throat. The boys are happy because so many birds have come to the tray to eat. They have observed that different kinds of birds eat together peacefully. But the blue jay wants the tray all to himself. Every day the boys put fresh food on the tray because now the birds depend on them for food. Today Richard has a piece of meat fat to leave on the tray. Richard and Billy have bought a special feeder at the pet store to attract hummingbirds to their yard. They mix 1 measure of sugar with 3 measures of water to make food for the feeder. Red food coloring will make the sugar water easier to see. Have you ever been this close to a hummingbird? Sometimes a beautiful Oriole visits the feeder. What are Richard and Billy doing now? They have a bird bath, and every day they clean the bowl and fill it with fresh water. Birds need water all year long. Sometimes they come to the bird bath to drink. And sometimes they come to bathe. Uh-oh, what do the boys see now? Some flickers that live in the nest box the boys hung in a tree. The hungry young flickers are waiting to be fed. The flickers are interesting birds, but the boys enjoy watching all of the birds they have attracted to their yard. Wouldn't you like to attract birds to your yard? Any shallow bowl will make a good bird bath if you keep it filled with clean water. A hummingbird feeder will attract several kinds of birds. And you can keep a feeding tray filled with seeds, dry breadcrumbs, and fruit. What kinds of birds will come to your backyard?